When I think about elder abuse or nursing home neglect cases, it actually brings tears to my eyes. If you've ever walked through some of these facilities, it's just horrible. They smell of urine. You see people sitting in the hallway with soiled diapers. You essentially see people laying there waiting to die. If you look really, really hard and you go up and down the hallways, you might find one caretaker, but it's not unusual not to find any. This year we obtained a very large jury verdict for a wonderful, wonderful woman who is age 94. She had advanced dementia, so she couldn't protect herself. She had advanced dementia, so she really couldn't communicate. There were two caretakers that were walking through the hallways of this particular facility. They decided to go in her room to return some clothing. As they walked in the room, they saw the cook for the facility on top of this woman having sex with her. They, of course, yelled and screamed. The man ran out of the room. Instead of calling the police, they let him go home. Ultimately, there was an investigation. Ultimately, that man was sent to prison. But when we got into the case, we found there was much more than that one man. What we found out was it was a huge corporation that owned this facility and many others. If they reduced the cost, the money they spent on each bed, which had an old person in it, they could increase their profits. They did it by having half the staff they were supposed to have. They did it by not having supervisors on hand to supervise that staff. They also allowed each employee, every employee that worked there, to have keys that enabled them to get into each patient's room. That violates every standard that every other nursing home has in effect today and has for the last 20 years. So who's the victim? It's a 94-year-old woman who's laying there with a man on top of her raping her. She can't defend herself, and she can't communicate what happened to her. But you know what? We could. And not only did we obtain a huge jury verdict for her, but the corporation was put out of business.